Are the Raging Cajuns trying to bolster up their defensive line room? Let's talk all about it here on Raging Rundown. What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another episode here on Rage and Rundown, the show where you will know all things UL sports. And in today's episode, we are talking about the football team as Louisiana has received another commitment in the 2027 class from defensive lineman Colby Smith. And also, they have a transfer portal target, so they are not exactly done just yet. That's also on the defensive line. So Louisiana is attacking things in the trenches. They've added some proven production already, and now they're locking in on the future as well. So let's start off with the transfer in this class that they have made an offer to. They have an extended offer to him, and they are trying to get in the works with him and potentially get a commitment out of him as they are continuing to try to bolster up that roster. We're talking about Mr. Desmond Thompson Jr. He is a 6'3", 255-pound defensive lineman from the Bronx in New York. He's played at Benedict College the past 2 seasons. He picked up an offer from the Cajuns on March the 23rd. That's when he tweeted about it on his social media platforms. He has other offers from the likes of Jackson State and Old Dominion and FAMU and University of Incarnate Word and others like that. So you are in a competitive battle for this transfer portal target for sure. And he also has 2 years of eligibility remaining. And he also mentioned that he has not burned his redshirt year. So if the Cajuns decide to bring him in and he's not going to play right away, he can redshirt and then they can still have him for 2 more seasons. So he's an experienced player, he's productive, and he's still ascending. So he is currently a sophomore after just wrapping up his second year there at Benedict. So in the 2 seasons that he's played there, he had 44 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks, and also 2 block kicks, which is huge from a special team standpoint because maybe he doesn't break the rotation for you as a pass rusher. Maybe you can use them on special teams. But right now, the Cajuns are trying to continue to bolster up their defensive line room. So this is a good point to add this young man here. This isn't a developmental guy. This is somebody that you can instantly insert into your rotation that can be able to help you. He has ability to disrupt in multiple ways. Some of the film that I saw of him on his socials, he was, used a lot in twist and TE stunts and all those things like that. He has really, really good ball get off, and that's important for the way the Cajuns utilize their defensive line. So the type of edge player that he is, think more in the likes of Jordan Lawson rather than a Cam Whitfield. Cam Whitfield was more of the jack position for them, which is almost like an outside linebacker. Or it is an outside linebacker, but he plays predominantly with his hand in the dirt. So this young man, Mr. Desmond Thompson, is more of like a Jordan Lawson, kind of that four eye or playing over the tackle 4 to 5 type of defensive end that you can be able to add to that room. That's a pretty young room because when you look at the depth chart right now, or you look at what they're returning, you've got guys like Lance Williams and Jeremiah Holtz and Priest Ash, and you've got Fitzgerald West and Maxie Baldwin and Ashton Wright and Chase Edwards and Chase Howard. Like there are a lot of guys there in the mix that are going to need to step up very early because in terms of a lot of playing experience, you don't have a lot of that, and so I guess the Cajuns feel like that they still need to add a little bit more depth to that defensive line room to help Coach Dennis Thomas out to continue to have guys because he likes to play a lot of guys out of the defensive line room. So that's huge. Like I mentioned, a big depth piece for them. He has some pass rush juice. So you're talking about, hey, we need to throw in another, rotational guy in there that can go and just get a sack, that can come in and get 20, 30 snaps, maybe even 10 to 15 snaps in a game and can maybe be a special team piece with the way that he had those 2 block kicks for you as well. He has good size, good versatility, and he has a proven ability to be able to finish through plays. So this is the kind of under the radar addition that can win you games when you get late into the season in late October, early November as you're chasing a championship. So we'll keep an eye on this young man. As I reached out to him, he has not set a date for when his visit will be with the Cajuns because obviously he has other offers, other schools that are pursuing him as he's actively still getting recruited. But we're going to continue to keep our eyes on that to see if the Cajuns can hone in on him, can potentially add them add him to their defensive line room as they get into the summer months, and then he would be available there in fall camp. So I mentioned about how we have this young man, Desmond Thompson from Benedict, that is a target for them out of the portal. But the Cajuns also received a big pickup in the high school ranks that they are adding to their 2027 class. We're going to take a quick timeout, and when I come back, I'll introduce you to Mr. Colby Smith and talk a little bit more about him. We'll talk about it when we come back here on Raging Rundown. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode here on Raging Rundown. We're going to get back into the action in just a second, but if you can, please do me a favor. If you're watching on YouTube, please like this video, share it, and leave a comment down below. But most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when we're dropping episodes just like this one. If you're listening, please follow the podcast feed, rate the show, and leave us a review because that will help us get in front of more Raging Cajun fans just like yourself. We talked about Desmond Thompson, who is a transfer portal target for the Cajuns currently out of the defensive line room. But recently, as of today, we're recording here on Thursday night, but Wednesday, the Raging Cajuns received their second 2027 class commit, which was a defensive lineman, Kobe Smith, from Avoyelles High School, from my old neck of the woods. I worked in that market for 2 years and also went to school there in the Pineville area. So I'm very familiar with this school. The head coach that's there as well, I know him as well. And so it's an in-state win for you. I saw someone talk about it on social media how so many people get passed up in the state of Louisiana. Well, the Cajuns have no problem like going after players that are in the state, and this is a perfect example of that. So, to give you some background about Kobe Smith, he got an offer back in February, and he committed on Wednesday. So you got a quick relationship that you built with him, and then you were able to close fast, which is huge in recruiting. Like even though we are in the transfer portal era where you have NIL and rev share and all those things like that, Coach Des and his staff are very much about building relationships first. And that's what they were able to do with Kobe. And that's why he was able to get a quick commitment. He also visited the team last weekend while they were practicing on Saturday for spring practice. So he liked what he saw and he was able to commit to his school. Um, I talked about relationships of things, and I was looking on socials, and I noticed how Louisiana versus All Y'all did an article with him. Like, I reached out to him as well, but Louisiana versus All Y'all, shout out to them, did an article talking about how his father is dealing with some health issues, and so he has the opportunity to remain close to home, and that his family can come and see him play. And that's a humongous thing to be able to hear from a young man that wants an opportunity to play at the next level and still has his family being able to watch him. So it's huge. So when I reached out to him after his commitment, he said, the location is 70 miles away from my house, and they make me feel like I'm a part of the family. The coaches make me feel like I will fit their scheme and the system very well. So we've talked about it, during the transfer portal episodes and the portal targets and the portal commits that the Cajuns have brought in and time out. It is very clear that Louisiana is not concerned about building the best roster that money can buy. They are about getting ball players, guys that want to play football, that want to be a part of this program, and that want to help them build something that is sustainable. Coach Mike Desimo has went on record multiple times saying that I want to build something here that's going to last forever. And getting pieces and players like a Kobe Smith are that's what's gonna help you to be able to get that done. Um, Kobe Smith in his junior campaign, because he's class of 2027, so his junior campaign, he had 78 tackles, 12 sacks, 18 tackles for loss, 14 quarterback hurries, and 2 forced fumbles. He had the honors and likes of district defensive MVP, parish defensive MVP. He was a two-time first team all district, two-time first team all Sinla member. And also, I believe that he was an all state selection as well. So he is dominant at his level. So you're getting a dominant player that you can bring into your defensive line room and you can use again to build towards the future. Looking at some of his tape, I saw a guy that has great ball get off. He has a great first move. He beats the tackle. He gets to the quarterback and brings him down. That's ultimately what you want to have. And then you bring him in and you can develop him that work a second move for him. That way, when people look on tape and say, like, hey, he's speed to power, let's take that away. He has something that he can counter that with. Um, I think Coach Dennis Thomas is a phenomenal defensive line coach. He's been able to work with a lot of great guys that have come through the program year after year. And so it'll be exciting to see what he's able to do with Kobe once he's here on campus. He's 6'2", 255 pounds. So he always has a good college size, but obviously you want to get him in your weight program. You want to train him up and continue to develop him because he's going to be a big time player for you somewhere later down the line. He has a relentless motor, like I mentioned. He has a very explosive first step. So he's not just a big player, but he's disruptive. And that first step is what separates him as an athlete. And when you're looking for a great pass rusher, like I always talk about, what you're always trying to do is have someone that can get the quarterback off the spot, whether that's getting sacks, whether that is making him hurry up, whether that's making him throw it away, in any way that you can disrupt the timing of the offense and what the quarterback is trying to accomplish. Kobe Smith is that type of player that you can have that you're going to be adding to your program. So kudos to the Cajuns for identifying a player that they liked, extending the offer to him, building a great relationship, and being able to land a quick close on that. Now it's again about holding the rope to land him. You got him here in March, but you have early signing day all the way in December. So he still has the rest of the summer. He has the spring. He has his entire senior campaign where he can blow up even more and continue to gain offers. So you have to keep holding the rope, keep garnering and fostering that relationship. So that way he will stay committed to your program and you can be able to add him to the defensive line room and continue to build towards the future. So the Cajuns have locked down an in-state talent. They're building the future, and this is how you win recruiting battles. You identify, you offer early, and you close fast. So Desmond Thompson, excuse me, is your help now. If you can land him, he's going to be able to help you right now. And Kobe Smith is going to be able to anchor you for the future. So Louisiana isn't just building the defensive line room, they're building waves. They're production now, production later, and that's how you're going to be able to sustain success. So that's going to wrap up this episode here on Rage and Rundown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. Wanted to be able to give you all a quick recruiting update talking about Louisiana and what they've been able to do on the recruiting path so far. So you have two commits in your class. You have a tight end from Shadow Creek and Bryce Coleman. And now you add Kobe Smith from Avoyelles, the defensive lineman, as well. So that's going to wrap up this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please do me a favor, like this video, share it, and leave a comment down below. But most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're listening, please follow the podcast feed, rate the show, and leave us a review because that's going to help us get in front of more Raging Cajun fans just like yourself. I'm your guy, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick. We'll see you guys next time.